Hey folks, how you doing? This is Reverend Wayne S. Pierce for the 14th of March 2014. This is the Views Expressed podcast. I'm not live today, but only because I've got so much going on. If you heard my podcast from earlier, the Wayne S. Pierce Show podcast, I only did a half hour because I was so freaking busy. Got so much on my mind that I wanted to take some time to just, sit back, relax, and kind of think about what is there and all the information that I've shared and all the information that I have that I'm going to share, all of the plans I have for the summer that you can be a part of if you contribute to the Free America Radio Network. There's a lot of things that are on my mind that I want to take at least some time to just step aside, learn more, research more, because you can look on the Wayne S. Pierce Show Facebook page, the Free America Radio Facebook page. You can see all of the information I put up. I'm not even scratching the surface on stuff that I've got. Okay. So I just want to tell you that as of today, and this is why the podcast is happening instead of the live show, I'm taking a weekend off. Actually, I don't do a show on the weekend, but I'm taking today off. So I'll be back Monday at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. But I wanted to at least give you some information that you can look at and research on your own. Now, first of all, though, since it's a podcast, I don't usually do commercials or ads or promos or whatever it is. I don't have ads. I don't have anybody advertising on my network. But if you want to email me, freeamericaradio@usa.com, more than happy to work something out with you. The thing that I want to literally discuss is the fact that there's a lot of people out there who have heard or are hearing people like Alex Jones and Glenn Beck and Michael Savage and just a bunch of other people. And they're saying, well, if you really research them, you'll see where they come from. Well, I have. And if you just listen to what they say and how they say it, are they holding something back? I would say yes. Is it because someone's telling them to? Probably not. Because it's information that they have that they got to vet, they got to research, they got to look at it, they have to examine it fully and completely before revealing it to their audiences. Same thing with me. I tell people, don't believe anything I say. Go take the information I show you, and you go do your own research. Develop your own understanding of what this information is. And that's basically what I encourage people to do. Now, I'm going to say this. For those people that talk about Glenn Beck and Alex Jones and Michael Savage and Pete Santilli and all that and say, well, you really got to know them because I've heard them before about, all those people that tell me this. My message is to you, and it's real simple. I'm not going to listen to anything you say ever again. Why is that? You're probably wondering. Well, I'll tell you straight up. Because you don't have the balls nor the intelligence to be able to show me what I want, which is files, check stubs, documents, inside information, any number of pieces of information that you can gather directly from the government, people who know these people intimately, whatever it may be. You don't have the balls nor the intelligence to gather that type of information. Now, if you just got a stiff neck and said, well, you just don't know, and I don't have to prove anything to anybody. Well, guess what? Shut up. Because if you don't have the intelligence to even prove to yourself that you are right, then I'm not going to listen to a damn word you say. And that is the bottom line. Now, on the other side of that coin, I'm more than happy, and will welcome all and any information that anyone ever has about anyone that they tell me about. Do you see how opposite that is? Those who will not do the work to supply me with the information to, number one, prove yourself right, and number two, prove to me that what you've said is correct and accurate to the best of your ability, then I don't want anything to do with you. But if you're willing to step up to the plate and show me the information and take the information I have and develop your own, understanding of it all, then great. I give you a virtual high five. But I tell you what I know from my perspective. I tell you what I know from my perspective. You can go to Free America Radio Facebook page. Look at the information that I supply there. You can take the information there and look at it and examine it and understand it and work with it and dig through it. Just because you think you know it all and you think you can do it better and you think this and you think that doesn't necessarily mean you're right. It only means that you're thinking about it and have absolutely no concept as to how to go about finding this information. So that's my message to you. So let me move on. The other thing that I want to mention is there are those that like myself, perfectly aware, I shouldn't say perfectly aware, I use that as a figure of speech, but people like myself who are aware and awake and spent many years researching and understanding this stuff and knowing what was, there and watching the trends and knowing just by watching what was going on, what was going to happen next. Not that I have a crystal ball in front of me, I'll just put it that way. But certain things were questionable. So I went out and did my own research. 35 plus years of research, folks, I got behind me. So I don't want to hear any more people telling me, well, you're wrong. You're one of those conspiracy theorists. Where's your tinfoil hat? Well, all I can say to you is, why are you wearing chains around your ankles and following those state-run media propaganda shills on TV? I mean, hey, I can throw the questions back at you as well. But people like myself who are aware, awake, understanding this stuff, looking at this stuff, examining this stuff, and giving you, the listening audience, the information you need to go out and make up your own minds about this, we know what's going on. We understand that the bridge is out. We understand that we're going to stand in the road and look at you as you're coming down the road. We're going to, flag you down, make you stop and tell you that the bridge is out. But if you don't want to believe us, go ahead, keep driving. Just don't crawl out of that ravine to come back and yell at me because I didn't tell you what was up, that the bridge was out. And when you come to an intersection where you have stoplights and they're blinking red, what does that tell you? That tells you that you stop and you let the person on the right go, right? At least that's what the book of your state's Department of Motor Vehicles tells you, right? Right? So if you come to a four-way stop, does that mean, it's a four-way stop, and when you look ahead and you don't see any cars coming at all, does that give you license just to run that stop sign or those stoplights? No. Common sense says, I'm going to stop because that's what I was told to do. Now, in the whole geopolitical thing, if someone's telling you that this nation is corrupt, that nation is corrupt. If in the whole geopolitical aspect of society, from one country to the next, if someone tells you that there is a world government behind the scenes controlling every single president, every single prime minister, everybody in government, and is playing those governments off of each other, and using certain little tools along the way to make you believe one thing over another, which is disinformation, misinformation, and telling you to stay away from this portion of this information over here because you don't want to know anything, but you will listen to the state-run media. Don't listen to those alternative media people because they're conspiracy theorists and they're fearmongers. What's the first thing what's the first thing you do? You go and listen to the alternative media. Why? Because as a child, you were always told, no, don't do that. But what did you do anyway? You did it anyway, right? I don't always believe everything that Glenn Beck says. Matter of fact, I disagree with some of the stuff he says. I don't always agree with everything that Michael Savage says, although he's about 95 to 99% correct on everything he says. I shouldn't say believe, but I don't agree with everything that Alex Jones says. I don't agree with everything that Pete Santilli says. But Pete Santilli and Alex Jones and Glenn Beck and Michael Savage and everybody else, including myself, will tell you to go look the information up yourself. And if you don't want to do that, I'm done. I'm done with you. Just go, hey, have a nice day. Enjoy your lunch. I know at some point in your day you're going to have lunch. You're going to have dinner. You're going to have breakfast, whatever. Enjoy. Because it's going to be up to you to determine for yourself what is true, what is false, what is real, what is not. And we're not living in some alternate universe where you can just snap your fingers and everything's your way. It ain't going to happen. But when we look at other people talking about the truth and revealing the facts, then at some point in time, you're going to have to do the research on your own. You don't always have to believe everything everybody says. There is some theatrics in this. There is some, playing to the camera, mugging to the camera. There is some things that people do because that's just part of the game. Me, myself, and I have been doing this on air, online for the last 2 years. 3 years coming up. And I can tell you straight up, I can tell you, I don't pull the wool over your eyes. I don't give you some sort of theatrics. I don't say anything at all if it's not true. If there is not facts behind it. And the first person I got to do to prove anything to is myself. Like I said, the stuff you see on Free America Radio on Facebook or the Wayne S. Pierce Show on Facebook, I'm just scratching the surface, folks. I got more stuff hanging out in the ether, I'll just say in a very safe place, that I can reveal that would make your freaking head spin. And, of course, if you want to believe it, if you're open to the possibilities of things being totally different than what you've, imagined they could be or what your preconceived idea is, then, yeah, I can show that to you, of course. But the thing is that you have to understand one very vital thing, and that is nothing in this world is as true to you as it is, as the way you see it. In other words, what's true for you is true for you, and it's only going to be based on what you see. And if you want to look at Alex Jones, Glenn Beck, Michael Savage, all of them, Pete Santilli, and say, well, geez, you ought to really get to know, they're just shills, they're just this, they're just, talking about whatever. Can you show me documents? Can you show me canceled checks? Can you show me check stubs? Can you show me anything valuable and valid to prove your point? No, then shut the hell up. I mean, that's just the way it is. And so if it sounds like I'm speaking to, people and saying, well, I'm right and you're wrong, I'm not. Because closing out this mini podcast, I'll tell you this. I'm not always right, yet I'm not always wrong. So, and I'm good with that. I'm okay because I want you to send me the information. And if you don't want to send me the information, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not there behind you twisting your arm to send me the information. I'm just saying, hey, send me, if you got something, send it to me. If you disagree with me, send it to me. I want to know. Nothing wrong with that. And if you want me to read something on air that you feel is important to know, please send that. I'll do it. How many other alternative media hosts would do that for you? Probably, I don't know, maybe one or two. And I'm one of them. But the facts of the matter are, people, is that if, I'm sure you've heard this, if you ain't got nothing good to say about someone, don't say anything at all. And that's what I'm telling you. If there is something that within you, even in your mind, that says, oh, that person's wrong. Really? Well, Glenn Beck is wrong, and he's just one of those, and he works for this, and blah, blah, blah. Really? Can you prove any of that? Can you bring the facts to the table to back up anything that you say? Well, no, I just know it. Really? Then you don't know a thing. I'm intelligent enough to be able to look at the information intellectually and research it and dig through it and find the facts, but I don't present anything until I know that I've double-checked, triple-checked, quadruple-checked everything. Okay? Sometimes I read on the views expressed. I read the articles. I show you what they are. I give you the websites, the author's name. I go through there. And you're still going to tell me that I'm wearing a tinfoil hat and I'm a conspiracy theorist? Okay, there's a big problem with you there, Junior. Am I bashing people? No. What I'm doing is I'm telling you straight up. I don't have time for unintelligent people. I don't have time for people who don't do the research that I've done. I don't have time for people to sit there and to tell me crap about a certain host or this person or that or this information. I don't have time for that. I'm not going to waste my time with your ignorance. I'm not going to lower myself down to the level of somebody else's ignorance. It's not worth it. Oh, you're saying you're more intelligent than everybody. No, I'm not. I'm not. Hell, I know a lot more people that are a lot more intelligent about this stuff than I am. And the one thing that I can identify within myself is the fact that I could be wrong about some stuff. I'm more right than I am wrong, but I could be wrong about some stuff. And for me, I'm okay with that. What about you? Probably not. So I'm just giving it. I got to go to break here in a minute, but I'm just telling you, I'm done with stupid people. I'm just done with ignorant people who have absolutely no balls, no backbone to prove themselves right or to do what they need to do to bring me the information that they feel I need to know. So what you're going to get on the Views Express Live, this is a podcast, by the way, what you get on the Views Express Live or the Wayne S. Pierce Show is the facts, or is the truth one fact at a time. And that's basically it. This is basically it. I'm not going to give you bullcrap. I'm not going to, give you spin. It's going to be straight up. And again, overall, it's my opinion, folks. Everybody has an opinion. It's my opinion. From my perspective, this is what I know. And I'm giving that to you. That's why I say, don't believe anything that I say. Just go out and take the information I give you and go out and do your own research. I know you're not going to, but I'm just saying it would benefit you a great deal if you did. So, hey, I'm going to go to break. I'll come back and we'll get into something else. Go to the Wayne S. Pierce Show Facebook page or Free America Radio Facebook page. Go to freeamericaradio.us. Email me at the email address there. Or if you want to send me some, well, let's just say whistleblowing information that you think I might need, send that to freeamericaradio@unseen.is. That's freeamericaradio@unseen.is. What we see is not always the truth. Lies, deceit, cover-ups. This is the world we live in. It is not reality. It is distorted reality. Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker. The hottest new talk radio show is on Revolution Radio. The BK Factor talks about news, religion, politics, and more. BK adds his opinion to all of it. The BK Factor airs Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific Time, noon to 2 Eastern. If you miss a show, you miss out. Hey folks, welcome back. This is the Views Expressed podcast, previously recorded for this time slot. This is the 14th of March, 2014. I am your host, Reverend Wayne S. Pierce. I want to give a big shout out to Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker on Facebook and distortedreality.podbean.com. Also want to give a big shout out to Pete Santilli over at the Guerrilla Media Network. .com or gmn.is. Check his show out as well. Also want to give a virtual high five to Brian Keller over at the BK Factor over in freedomslips.com site over on Revolution Radio Studio B, 10 a.m. to 1 or 10 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, I believe is what his show is. That's over on freedomslips.com, Revolution Radio, Studio B, the BK Factor, Monday through Friday. Lots of things going on, folks. Go to freeamericaradio.us. Donate to the site if you'd like. Free America Radio Network is going to the next level, and we need your assistance to do that. Now, I only ask you to donate and to help us out if you want to. If you enjoy the show and are getting something out of it, please help Free America Radio Network get to the next level. If you don't feel like it's, helping you out in any way, shape, or form, don't help out. It's as simple as that, folks. The light switch is either on or off. I mean, there's no middle ground in that, okay? So, anyway, if you have any questions, if you want to advertise for the on the Free America Radio Network, please email me at the email address there at freeamericaradio.us, and we'll work something out. If you have if you have promos or any type of audio clips about your shows or anything, promotions for your shows are absolutely 100% free, unless you're, want to advertise, and then, of course, we'll work something out. Send that to me at the email address there at freeamericaradio.us, or if you're listening to me on Spreaker.com, send it to that email address as well. I'll get it and put in the subject line that you heard this on the Free America Radio Network. Thank you. Anyway, at some point next week, hopefully, cross my fingers, I'm going to have a guest on the show, and I'm probably going to rally, shake the cage of Mr. Nick Tucker and see if he's able to be on the show next week. So stay tuned. I may have more news about that. I may get some other guests on. I'm looking at getting a presidential candidate on the show. I'm looking into that as well. So stay tuned. Go to Free America Radio on Facebook for more information about that. If you have blogs or websites or shows on Spreaker or whatever network you're on, please send that to me, and I'll be more than happy to put those on my website and to link them as well on this show and tell people about them. So thank you very much. Appreciate that a great deal. If you have any questions, no question is off limits. Ask me anything you like. If I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know. So there you go. Real simple, straight up. This Malaysian airline 370, I don't know. I'm just going to tell you straight, folks. I don't want to talk about it too much because I don't have all the information. And all the information out there is either speculative or conspiratorial. I don't go on those routes, okay? It's either the facts or nothing, so I'm looking into this. I mean, it's just a major confusion at this point. I mean, people said they've seen the plane and it went down in the water, or it got hijacked and landed, and I don't know. So I'm just telling you straight up, folks, I don't know. Anyway, go to Free America Radio on Facebook, and I will tell you exactly what's going on. I put some stuff up there, some highlights from yesterday as well. We have a Congressman Joe Heck. He says the laws, mandates, taxes, and fines are going to be bad for Nevada's families and businesses, and this is absolutely 100% true because of the Affordable Care Act. I don't even want to dignify the nickname for the Affordable Care Act anymore because he's a pathetic loser and a non-citizen, so it doesn't really matter. There's a meme, a picture by Pledge of Renewal on Facebook. Redflagnews.com has a picture there. It says global governments are covering something up, and about Malaysia Airline 370, Flight 370. The one thing I wanted to show you specifically on that Free America Radio on Facebook, it's about freedom on Facebook. Put up a picture that I shared, and it says, do we understand the consequences of allowing our government to establish gun control or even infringe upon it? If we allow infringement through registration, taxes, fees, limiting our ability to have certain weapons, cutting off our ammo supplies, etc., but allow the government to go on and unchecked having access to them all, what could the consequences of quote-unquote political dissidence? What would the consequences be for political dissidence? That's a good question, huh? Should we stop infringement in its tracks, or should we trust that this would never happen here? What do you think? How do we restore a constitutional right to bear arms the way it was intended by our founders? China established gun control in 1935. From 1948 to 1952, 20 million political dissidents, unable to defend themselves, were rounded up and exterminated. From Patriot HQ on Facebook, FEMA does not want you to watch this video. I would suggest you watch the video. Now, let me say this because this just popped into my head. Is what we see out there disinformation? Is what we see out there total disinformation? Is it being used to play each of us off of one another to try to get us to, well, take sides? Is it? That's something that is very interesting to discuss, isn't it? Well, I'll talk a little bit about that. Are they playing us off of one another? So I'll be back right after this.
This is the Liberty Beat, your source for Liberty news and activist updates, online at thelibertybeat.com. I'm Brian Hagan with your Liberty Beat for Friday, March 14th, 2014. Gold opened today at $1,376, silver opened at $21.50, and Bitcoin is trading at $632. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from Sovereign BTC, media, marketing, and consulting for the Bitcoin ecosystem, operated by Liberty Beat founder John Bush. Online, sovereignbtc.com. Support also comes from Dorothy Erminger at Capstar Lending. For your residential mortgage needs, call Dorothy, 512-343-6494, or apply online at calldorothy.com, NMLS 216624. Support for the Liberty Beat also comes from My Magic Mud, available at Brave New Books or online at mymagicmud.com. In the news, Facebook is one of the favorite tools of the NSA. That's the latest revelation from Edward Snowden, as published on journalist Glenn Greenwald's website, Intercept. According to Snowden, the NSA uses what's known as a man-on-the-side technique to disguise itself as a fake Facebook server. Codenamed Quantum Hand, the maneuver allows the agency to transmit data packets that trick the computer into thinking they're legitimately sent from Facebook. That allows the NSA full access into the targeted computer. The Washington Times reports that, if confirmed, the program would put millions of Facebook users at risk. On Thursday, the Food and Drug Administration commissioner stated that the agency is still deciding whether to approve a genetically engineered fish. FDA Commissioner Margaret Hamburg said they were reviewing over 30,000 comments on the Aqua Bounty salmon. Speaking to the U.S. Senate's Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions Committee, Hamburg said they are moving forward in a deliberate, science-driven way. All it would take to bring down the entire United States power grid is the sabotage of 9 of the more than 55,000 electric substations across the nation. That's the finding of a study by the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, which shows that only a few substations provide the bulk of the nation's electricity. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from Brave New Books, now offering Pro Pure Water Filtration, the only gravity-driven all-in-one fluoride removal system that also alkalizes the water. Find them in Austin, 1904 Guadalupe Street, or online at bravenewbookstore.com. Support comes from Mass Appeal, affordable, high-quality printing, now accepting Bitcoin, online at massappealinc.com, and from growyourowngroceries.org, homegrown food on every table. That's growyourowngroceries.org. This is the Liberty Beat for Friday, March 14th, 2014. Check out the website at thelibertybeat.com. As President Obama's decision on the northern leg of the Keystone XL pipeline inches closer, he's being encouraged by a former advisor. Retired General James Jones, a former Obama administration national security advisor, asked the president to approve the pipeline to send a message to Russian President Vladimir Putin. Jones said the president must make it clear that international bullies cannot use energy security as a weapon. Attorney General Eric Holder on Thursday voiced his support for shorter prison sentences for nonviolent drug traffickers as part of a Justice Department effort. The New York Times reports the push to lower sentences is viewed as a way to bring down federal prison costs while creating a more humanitarian approach to drug crimes. Holder told the Sentencing Commission that in a country where nearly half of all federal inmates are serving time for drug offenses, the harshest penalties should be reserved for violent criminals. At the age of 27, Stephen Powers suffered serious injuries to his face and skull as the result of a motorcycle crash. Powers' skull, upper jaw, nose, and cheekbones were shattered. For years, doctors struggled with facial reconstructive surgery, but now with the help of 3D printing, Powers has been given a new face. Doctors at Morriston Hospital in Wales use 3D printing to create models to fashion new bones and facial implants. They used a combination of 3D printed materials and medical-grade titanium to reconstruct Power's skull with precision never before seen. Support for Liberty Beat comes from Affordable Sound, CD and DVD duplication, along with posters and promotions materials. Online at affordablesound.com or give them a call, 512-459-5253. This is the Liberty Beat for Friday, March 14th, 2014. I'm Brian Hagan reporting. Reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Welcome back, folks. I appreciate it. This is the Views Express Live right here for the 14th of March, 2014. Are they playing us off one another, against one another, basically? I would say yes. I would say yes, and I would say that because I don't have any additional information to say that they're not. So if you want to supply that to me, that would be great. Just use the email there at freeamericaradio@usa.com, or if you want to send me some, some other information you don't want anyone else to know about, then Free America Radio at unseen.is. Free America Radio at unseen.is. A sheepnomore.net has this to say as soon as the website comes up. You can't say we weren't warned. The communist influence and infiltration of the United States. I would suggest reading that article and searching Rules for Radicals by Saul Alinsky, because that tells you exactly how this country is being run. Or I should say, the policies that are in our government that are being implemented. NSA poses as Facebook, hacks, installs malware on computers. They say no, but I think we know otherwise. And that was from freedomoutpost.com. This is all on Free America Radio on Facebook, if you go there and check it out. There's some articles up there from yesterday. I put new ones up today. All I can say, folks, is how does one seriously look at all of this information? How does one take in this information? How does one comprehend what is going on? Well, there's two ways of doing it. Do like I did for the last 35 years, and I'm still continuing. I didn't stop, and that is do the research, do the investigation, talk to people, or grab your beer, sit in your lounge chair, and just watch your stupid TV and believe everything that your state-run media tells you. There you go. That's the only two choices we have, folks. I choose not to sit around. I choose to look at this stuff and research it and examine it and really get down to the crux of connecting the dots and following the money, because it's all about money. It's all about prestige. It's all about power. It's all about, you name it, it's all there. Okay? I don't believe there's a moment that these leaders have that they don't want to make a dime or two off of the backs of the slaves that they have, which would be you and I, folks. Yeah, we're slaves. We pay taxes, we pay property tax, we pay fees, we try to start a business, we got to get all that together, we got to pay this, we got to pay that. It's all about the money, and who's making all this money? Certainly isn't me, I'll tell you that. Now, anybody in business out there, I want you to send me information about your business in terms of, not if you want to advertise with me, fine, we'll work something out. But tell me how many hoops you had to jump through to get your business going. Okay? How many hoops did you have to jump through? Seriously. Because, the last time I checked, I was going to have to spend, a few bucks just to get my business going. And at the time I didn't have it. I was just gathering the information as to how much, but now it's probably more, So, but what hoops do you have to jump through? Now, and was it worth it? Was jumping through those hoops worth it? Okay? Even if you lost your business due to this Affordable Care Act and your premiums going up and all that, even if you lost your business, are you planning to start another one? And how much of a headache is that right now? So send me that information at freeamericaradio@usa.com. freeamericaradio@usa.com. Now, the thing is, and I want to be totally upfront with you here, the thing is I don't have all the information. The information that I have, as I said before the break, is from my perspective. I give it to you, and hopefully you're encouraged enough to go out and look this stuff up yourself. But I don't have all the answers, is what I'm saying. I'm not going to give you the silver platter answer to any of the questions you have because I don't have all the answers. I'm searching just like you. I'm right there, with everybody else trying to figure out what's going on. Okay? So, but what I do have, I do show you. And like I said, I hope you go out and figure this stuff out on your own. I mean, you can listen to me, get some good pointers, get some tips, get some information, and then go from there. And what's true for you is true for you. I've said that before. It's how you observe it. It's only from your own perspective and such to where you're going to gather as much information as you can to satisfy your own curiosity or your own intellect to the degree at which you can conclude that you are right about something. That's all. I'm not going to give you the silver platter answer. I'm going to give you a book. I'm going to give you a website. I'm going to give you a title here and there. The rest is up to you, folks. The rest is up to you. But anyway, if you have any questions, comments, curiosities, please email me. More than happy to answer any questions you have. I hope that I can answer them, and if I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know, or I'll give you some information that I have, if possible, and go from there. I don't know, folks. I mean, what else? What else? Well, let's go to Free America Radio on Facebook and find out. Edward Snowden revealed a whole lot of information, and now people are saying that he's lying. Lily Dane over at freedomoutpost.com, freedomoutpost.com, and Lily Dane over there wrote an article. As soon as I can get rid of these stupid pop-ups. She wrote, Snowden bombshell. NSA poses as Facebook, hacks, installs malware on computers to steal computer data. Just when you thought the NSA couldn't get any more detestable, new information released yesterday reveals that the agency has expanded its hacking capabilities and can infect millions of computers with malware, quote-unquote, imprints. Documents provided by NSA whistleblower Edward Snowden provide details about the groundbreaking technology which uses automated systems to hack into the computers on a mass scale without much human oversight. The documents also reveal that the NSA has pretended to be Facebook to install its malware, according to Intercept. Quote, in some cases, the NSA has masqueraded as a fake Facebook server, using the social media site as a launching pad to infect a target's computer and exfiltrate files from a hard drive. In other words, it has sent out spam emails laced with malware, which can be tailored to covertly recording audio from a computer's microphone and take snapshots with its webcam. The hacking systems have also enabled the NSA to launch cyber attacks by corrupting and disrupting file downloads or denying access to websites, unquote. The automated system the NSA is using is codenamed Turban and is designed to, quote, allow the current implant network to scale a large size, millions of implants, by creating a system that does automated control implants by groups instead of individually. Unquote. Turban is listed as part of a larger NSA surveillance plan called, quote-unquote, Owning the Net. Taxpayer money in the amount of $67.6 million was sought by the agency in 2013, with some specifically designated for expansion of Turbine for, quote, a wide variety, unquote, of networks and, quote, enabling greater automation of computer network exploitation, unquote. The Intercept explain how Turbine works. Quote, Turbine, however you want to pronounce it, was designed to make deploying malware much easier for the NSA's hackers by reducing their role in overseeing its functions. The system would, quote, relieve the user from needing to care about the details, unquote. The NSA's Technology Directorate notes in one secret document from 2009. Quote, for example, a user should be able to ask for all details about application X and not need to know how and where application keeps files, registry entries, or application data, etc., unquote. In practice, this meant that Turbine would automate crucial processes that previously had to be performed manually, including the configuration of implants as well as the surveillance collection or tasking of data from infected systems. But automating these processes was about much more than a simple technicality. The move represented a major tactical shift within the NSA that was expected to have a profound impact, allowing the agency to push forward into a new frontier of surveillance operations. The ramifications are starkly illustrated in one updated top-secret NSA document which describes how the agency planned for Turbine to, quote, increase the current capability to deploy and manage hundreds of computer network exploitation and computer network attack implants to potentially millions of implants. CNE mines intelligence from computers and networks. CNA seeks to disrupt and damage and destroy them. When I get back after this break, I'll finish that because it's very important. See you in a bit. Listen to the Wayne S. Pierce Show, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 12 noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, on Spreaker.com or the Wayne S. Pierce Show.weebly.com. Thank you. You're here. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for returning with me. Let me continue on from freedomoutpost.com, an article written by Lily Dane. And let me start off by repeating much of this. Talking about Turbine, how Turbine works, or how Turbine, that's the NSA's automated malware injector, as I like to call it, because it gets the information from your system through these files that they present to you on what they have, what this whistleblower Edward Snowden has said are fake Facebook servers. They use Facebook to they pretend they're Facebook, basically. So let me continue on. They said here the ramifications are starkly illustrated by one updated top-secret NSA document, which describes how the agency planned for Turbine to increase the current capability to deploy and manage hundreds of computer network exploitation and computer network attack implants to potentially millions of implants, unquote. CNE mines intelligence from computers and networks. CNA seeks to disrupt and damage and destroy them. Continuing here on with the article from Freedom Outpost, Lily Dane's article from freedomoutpost.com. According to the secret files, the system has been in use since at least July 2010, and the NSA has already deployed between 85,000 and 100,000 implants worldwide. The NSA has employed the use of spam emails that trick users into clicking on malicious links. This quote-unquote backdoor implant, codenamed Willow Vixen infects computers within 8 seconds. This method isn't working as well as it used to, according to documents, because people have become more careful about clicking on emails. Enter Quantum Hand, the system the NSA uses to pose as Facebook. Quote, in one man-on-the-side technique codenamed Quantum Hand, the agency disguises itself as a fake Facebook server. When a target attempts to log into the social media site, the NSA transmits malicious data packets that trick the target's computer into thinking they are being sent from the real Facebook. By concealing its malware within what looks like an ordinary Facebook page, the NSA is able to hack into the targeted computer and covertly siphon out data from its hard drive. Facebook, that's unquote, by the way. Facebook has denied any knowledge of this program and told the National Journal that the site is now protected from such attacks. Quote, we have no evidence of this alleged activity. In any case, this method of network-level disruption does not work for traffic carried over HTTPS, which Facebook finished integrating by default last year. Quote, if government agencies indeed have privileged access to network service providers, any site running HTTP could conceivably have its traffic misdirected, unquote. By the way, Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg kind of talked he did address the NSA's practice against, surveillance of Facebook, and he kind of, took Mr. Obama to the woodshed for a second. So, I don't know. I'm not sure. So, stay tuned for more about that one. Continuing, Matt Blaze, a surveillance and cryptography expert from the University of Pennsylvania, told The Intercept he has concerns about the NSA using Turban and Quantum Hand together. Quote, as soon as you put this capability into the backbone infrastructure, the software and security engineer in me says that's terrifying. Forget about how the NSA is intending to use it. How about we know it is working correctly and how targeting who the NSA wants? And even if it does work correctly, which is itself a really dubious assumption, how is it controlled? Malware installed by the NSA is capable of performing different tasks on infected computers, as this list compiled by the LA Times outlines. 1. The computer's microphone uses a computer's microphone to record audio, use a computer's webcam to take photos, record a computer's internet browsing history, record login details and passwords used for web services, log users' keystrokes, extract data from flash drives when they are plugged into the infected computers, block users from accessing certain websites, corrupt files that computers attempt to download. In response to the story, the NSA provided the following statement. Quote, signals intelligence shall be collected exclusively where there is a foreign intelligence or counterintelligence purpose, unquote. Do you really expect us to believe that? So you can go to Freedom Outpost for that. That was a long article, and I will post that back on the main feed of Facebook and, of course, on the Free America Radio Facebook page as well. I'll put that link back at the top of the page. Well, it probably already is. Well, isn't that special? Put this in the main feed. So, what do we do, folks? What do we do? Here we are in a society where 1984 and beyond. In other words, what do we have? I mean, it's far from being George Orwell's 1984. It's far from being anything that is so, that was so described in the past. I mean, we've got pre-crime technology, folks. Go look it up. There's facial recognition cameras all over San Francisco, New York, Chicago, Dallas, probably Miami by now. They've got IntelliStreets, which is, light poles that have video cameras on it and monitors on it and speakers on it and people talking to you and recording everything you say on the streets. I mean, where's it going to go, folks? Unless you do something about it, it's going to go. It's going to take over if it hasn't already. And we're walking around with a tracking device in our hands called a cell phone. I mean, right now, I'm looking at my current cell phone right now. I'm looking at it, and I'm hitting system settings. I'm telling you what's on here, folks. You go down here to location services. Do this right now. Grab your cell phone if you can. Go to your system settings if you're on Android or if you've got an iPhone. And look at your location services. If all of those boxes are checked, they're tracking you, folks. They know exactly where you are at all times. And don't say, oh, you're a fearmonger. They're not. Why would they track me? I'm nobody. Really? How do you track slaves? How did they do it back in the slavery years? They did it by branding you. Your Wi-Fi ISP, I was going to say that. Your Wi-Fi IP that is on the phone, and you can find that as well through your system settings. That's your mark right there. That's your mark. That's your mark. It's not. That's it, man. Right there. If you hear some noise in the background, they're doing work out here in our complex. So sorry about all the freaking noise. I feel like going out there and yelling at them, but I won't. They got a job to do just like everybody else. But go to your system settings and look for the IP address for your phone. It's right there, folks. It's right there. I don't know. I really do not know what else to say. I mean, you're being tracked. It's right there. You're not going to you're not going to get away from it. It's all right there, folks. I really don't know what to tell you. Okay. It's all right there. I mean, I'm looking at my phone again. I mean, it's you're being tracked, and you're probably being hacked into as we speak. Hey, and I say that because if you ever watch your cell phone, if you just set it down for a little while, or now the older phones, the older analog phones that you used to have, the analog cell phones, you'd hear that over your stereo speakers or your computer speakers. Yeah, and then if you look at your current iPhone or Android phone and you see the little green light blinking on your phone, yeah, they're pinging your system to, make sure that everything's right and update. I've asked, it's for updates, and we're going to send you updates for the phone, and we like to, and all, and I'm like, okay, yeah, fine. Whatever. I know what it's for, but they're not going to lie to me. You know what I mean? I know exactly what it's for. And all that data that you have on your data side of your cell phone, that's all being held onto. That's And don't tell me it's not, because I know it is. So anyway, folks, go to Free America Radio on Facebook. Actually, let's do this, folks, before I lose my voice. Get some water here. Hang on just a second. Water. Yeah, water. There we go, water. Anyway, go to the Wayne S. Pierce Show on Facebook. I don't have a whole lot up there right now, but I wanted to read you something because it's very, very important. George Washington said, or allegedly said, when governments take away citizens' rights to, when government takes away citizens' right to bear arms, it becomes citizens' duty to take away government's right to govern. I totally and absolutely agree with that. If the government is doing things against you because they feel like it, Yeah, and they want to start taking away your rights. It's time we stand up and make sure that our government knows that we, the people, are in control, not them. But now, okay, at the end here, I'd like to tell you that I've had this told to me. What about prophecy? What about biblical and ancient prophecy about a one world order, or about God, or this, that, all this? I've had people talk to me about prophecy. I mean, for an hour and a half, just lay out all these things about this is what's going to happen and this. Okay. And that was biblical prophecy, folks. That was biblical prophecy that these people were showing me. And I can give you an hour and a half of that, but I won't. But I looked at other things as well, and I would present the other side of that. And I would say, well, here's what Nostradamus said. And here's what this person said. And here's what this person said prior to Nostradamus. And here's this, and here's that. And here's this prophecy from 1400s. And here's this prophecy from the 1100s. And all my Christian friends would sit there and go, well, if it doesn't match the Bible, they got that from the Bible. They know that because on those days. And they would try to justify their ignorance on all of it. And guess what? I'm more inclined to believe Nostradamus and Edgar Cayce than I am over the Bible. I mean, seriously. I would. Only because you can take and literally find not an afterthought, not, well, that's after the fact. No. You can literally find certain things, specifically with Edgar Cayce. You can find certain things that he said that even now you can look at and go, yeah, that happened this, and that happened then, and that happened, and he says this is going to happen. We'll just wait and see. But you can look at Nostradamus, and because of the environment he was in and the political and ecumenical structure he was in at that time, he had to put things in code. Go look at it. Go examine it. I've talked to scholars, Nostradamus scholars, that looked at everything, and I've talked to them, and they've shown me, even the Bible itself was in code. Certain areas of the Bible were code because of the environment. Paul the Apostle, Saul of Tarsus, had to write in such a way to where he wasn't, if somebody got his writings, like the city who, whatever, they wouldn't look at it and say, oh, you're one of those radicals, and, and do all that. But he would write from the jail, He was in prison for a couple of years, So, I mean, it's everything back then was put in such a way to where it wouldn't reveal certain things, and so the government wouldn't come along and shut them down or kill them or whatever else. And when you look at that type of situation in our environment today, that is what's happening now. But there's a lot more to it today than there was 2, 3, 4, or 5,000 years ago. There was. Nowadays, you got disinformation, misinformation out there. You've got factual, backed up facts, that you can look at. Hardcore information that you can look at. We have whistleblowers now. We have all this. So who's right and who's wrong? Well, I like to tell people nobody's completely right and nobody's completely wrong. And that's why I also say that what is true for you as you observe it. Because it's all about what you see. It's all what you have in front of you. It's all what you know to be true for you. So, I don't buy that excuse that, oh, well, I have facts too. Really? Show me. Well, I don't have to show anybody anything. Really? Okay, bye. Have a nice day. You got those people out there. Then you have the people out there who are going to look at somebody like me and go, well, here it is right here. Boom. Boom, there it is right there. Oh, yeah? Okay, how about this? Bang. And I throw them 2 or 3 other things, and it totally blows their facts out of the water, or their supposed facts out of the water. I've done that before. I've had debates where I've presented my information, and people look at me going, well, I guess I lost. I lost the debate, huh? No. You had some very good, valid points, but you just didn't go all the way. You didn't take the next step. That's why I tell people, wrapping this up here in the next minute and a half, that's why I tell people that that I don't know it all. Okay? And I don't want to know it all. And the information that I have is what I have. But if you've got more to add to that, please, let me know. And if you disagree with that, please let me know. I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that. So send it to freeamericaradio@usa.com. Or if you want to send me some, other stuff, you can send it to freeamericaradio@unseen.is. freeamericaradio@unseen.is. Go to freeamericaradio.us and check out the website. And if you want to help out Free America Radio get to the next level, hey, thank you. Appreciate that very much. And we'll go from there. In the meantime, folks, enjoy your Friday. Enjoy your weekend. I will see you back here on Monday at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on the Views Express Live. We the people have the power, for we are America.